former cabinet minister arraigned today on bribery and extortion charges. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keisha Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, former Housing and Environment Minister Kenwood Dorset was charged before the courts today. Our Fern Carey was in court with details of the arraignment.
Environment and Housing Minister Kenwood Dorset was taken into court in handcuffs before Magistrate Samuel McKinney. The 46-year-old father, who is also an attorney, is facing 4 counts of extortion, 4 counts of bribery, and 1 count of misconduct of a public officer. He is accused of extorting $120,000 from businessman Jonathan Ash between March 1st and May 9th of this year. Court papers also show that Mr. Dorset, in his capacity as Minister of the Environment, allegedly solicited some $110,000 from Jonathan Ash in exchange for work done to remove debris from the Gladstone Road landfill. This following an extensive fire at the site between March 1st and May 9th. Mr. Dorset appeared calm as he pleaded not guilty to the charges. He also elected to have the matters heard in the Supreme Court before a judge and jury. Bail was denied and he was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Following the arraignment, Dorset's attorney Wayne Monroe-Cusey charged that the matter was an abuse of the process. He also lodged a formal complaint with the court, noting that police unlawfully detained 3 of Mr. Dorset's cell phones without producing a warrant to him or Mr. Dorset. Outside court, Monroe told reporters that efforts were already underway to secure bail for Mr. Dorset from the Supreme Court later this Thursday or Friday morning. Asked what penalties the former Environment Minister was facing, he responded,
"I don't focus on any penalty because if you can't figure out when in 71 days somebody gave you some money, somebody made a demand of you, and for 30 of those days the fire, for 39 of those days the fire was out at the public dump, then I would think that gives some indication of what we will be contending with."
The Queen's Counsel also suggested that the matter was a witch hunt.
I expect if a member of the public is to come out and say, without producing 1 check, without producing anything, that the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Hubert Minnis, or any of his ministers has solicited anything from them, that the police will arrest them, that the police will detain them overnight, and that the police will charge them. If it could happen to Mr. Dorset, it ought to be able to happen to the Prime Minister and any sitting cabinet minister if they are serious about anti-corruption.
Now, Dorset returns to court on August 31st for service of voluntary bill of indictment papers. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.